Yeah.
Hi there, this is Dennis Wells. Welcome to the Financial Advantage podcast. Super excited today to have Shaunta Gray with us. She owns the Kairos Real Estate Pro real estate office. They have offices in Linwood as well as Olympia Fields, Illinois. Um, really enjoy the opportunities we've already had to talk, and I know everyone is in for a blessing today, getting to get to know you a little bit better and hear more about what you're doing and how you're impacting the real estate space here in Illinois. So, Shaunta, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Dennis, so much. Thank you for having me. It's an absolute pleasure to be on your show today, and I'm equally excited.
Thank you. Thank you. This is awesome. So, tell us how long you've been in real estate and how did you get started in your real estate career?
Well, I've been in the real estate industry for about 24 years. I actually started as a real estate appraiser,
Okay.
and someone actually, a family friend, approached me. I was in between careers, and they just suggested, why don't you think about being an appraiser? And so I looked into it, realizes that it resonated with me.
Mhm.
I have a very analytical mind, and so that's how I got started. But I actually have to add this little prelude to the fact that I love Monopoly as a kid.
Yep.
I would play Monopoly for like, I mean, 2 or 3 times a week. Over sleepovers, I would take it on sleepovers with me. I was a Monopoly enthusiast. So, realized that I love real estate really from being trained playing Monopoly. So, that just kind of the meeting of the minds, I guess, just sort of happened, and I sort of fell into the real estate industry that way.
Love it. Love it. That is awesome. Um, yeah, I always love hearing people's backgrounds and
Mhm.
because I really feel like nothing in our life is ever wasted, that everything that we do is a stepping stone to where we are going to be next. So, what are some of the ways that your background in the appraisal side of the business um, has made a difference in how you help people buy and sell real estate?
Well, one key thing is really knowing how to identify how a property's condition has an impact on the market value. So for a seller, this would be beneficial to assist them in knowing like what condition or improvements they would need to make to have the greatest impact on their property value.
Hmm.
For a buyer, it would be knowing um, what the property's condition is and the
Hmm.
offer price that we could offer the property based upon its current property condition.
Okay.
So that insight into knowing the different components of a property's value or condition or just components of the property makes it very helpful for buyers and sellers.
Very good. Very good. So, what other things do you do in your business that sets you apart from other agents in this market?
Well, I'm always learning. So
Okay.
that's very important. I sit on all of my home inspections and village inspections, which are definitely opportunities to learn about, different components to properties, um, property condition, how to improve a property. It's very important that as a realtor, you become very well versed with every aspect to real estate. And so I am always sitting on those home inspections. Um, and then one thing that sets me apart too is I use devices. I use some of the similar devices that a home inspector would use, an infrared camera. I take those on inspections with me or showings with me with a potential buyer, even helping a seller, which helps us to determine if a property has some moisture intrusion, has a leak, or something could be detrimentally wrong, especially as it relates to like the roof components, foundation components. Those are always scary things for
Hmm.
buyers and sellers, you know. And so that's definitely different from most real estate brokers and real estate agents. They don't, some of us don't want to get into all the nuances about
Okay.
property condition. And it's very important to know those things up front because, you know, if the home inspector is going to come out, it's going to be found.
Hmm.
So that's important.
Yeah. Helping you prepare your sellers for
Mhm.
any potential things that they're going to need to deal with, and then also protecting your buyers for sure.
Definitely helping my sellers. Sellers, absolutely. If they live in the home, there's things that they know about the home, but then there could be times where they're surprised by something.
Yep.
And so it's very helpful to them. And then, especially for a buyer, I always use the term, if it's a pig with lipstick on it, I'm going to tell you that it's a pig with lipstick on it and we need to run. So, you know, just being able to give them a peace of mind, to let them know that this is a great property that they've selected. Hey, let's write an offer on it.
Hmm.
And then, of course, the home inspector is going to come and he's going to look behind every nook and cranny as well. But it helps buyers because if it's a great property, if I approve of it, and I'm not the home inspector, so I don't find everything, but some key things that I am able to identify helps us to move the process along and select the right property the first time.
Love it. Love it. That's great.
Yeah.
So, what activities do you enjoy when you're not actively engaged in helping people with their real estate needs?
Love reading. Reading
Okay.
is a definite passion of mine. And nothing like cuddling up with a nice book. When it's quiet and a little peaceful, you can only read when there's some peace. If your phones are constantly ringing and off the hook, you really can't get much reading done. So it's definitely a treat when I
Yeah.
can relax and do some reading. And then, of course, I love spending time with family and friends. That's always enjoyable for me. And gardening. I actually love gardening. I love seeing things grow. I love giving attention to something, seeing, you know, the process of growth.
Hmm.
And so gardening is another one of my favorite pastimes.
Right.
Right.
Very cool. Now, do you, when you're gardening, is there flower gardening, vegetable gardening? What is it that
Both.
you? Okay.
Both. I have a forest inside my home, and then when the weather permits, it'll be one outside the home.
Okay.
So, vegetable gardening as well, and then I love the perennials, you know, plants. I
Okay.
do a lot of planting during the spring and summertime. And of course, I love fruits and fresh fruits and vegetables. I
Hmm.
believe that your home, the land that you use, you should be able to eat off of your land. So
Hmm.
for me, I love being able to grow my garden and go out and pick my tomatoes and my cucumbers and things like my apples. Oh, I love my apple tree and enjoy those things. So
Okay. Very
yeah.
cool. What are some similarities between being successful in the gardening space and being successful in the real estate space?
Oh wow. Um, the process, I think. Watching the process of growth and watching the process complete itself. So I love being able to see, like for example, if I'm helping a seller, I could be helping a seller prepare to sell their home, and we might need to do some things in it to get it prepared, some
Hmm.
repairs, and seeing that process complete itself. The fruit of it is what I
Yep.
like to call it, which is the consummation of the sale. Very similar to gardening. It's like, oh, once you know, given this item, this fruit, this vegetable, the attention that it needs, the care that it needs, and then you can partake of the fruit.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
can enjoy the fruit of it. So definitely similarities there.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of, you know, it's a long-term process, depending,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, cultivating the soil, making
Yes.
sure that it's the best opportunity for the plant to grow, or the best
Yes.
opportunity for you know to put that real estate in the best light.
That's
For
right.
example,
And timing is always the factor that
yeah,
can make or break a transaction or a deal.
yeah,
And the same with gardening. You can't put the seeds down too soon, and you cannot not water it. You have to water it
right,
and you have to cultivate it. So
yeah,
the same with in real estate for sure.
cool, cool. Now, as a real estate agent, as someone with an appraisal background, if someone were to ask you, uh, what home improvement projects would increase the value of my house the most, what are two or three of those that you would recommend?
Most of the time, it's kitchens and baths.
Okay.
Um, Most of the time, there could be a situation where we need a roof, because if we don't have a roof on the house, we don't have anything else. If it's leaking and things like that, then that impacts everything else. But the majority of the time, it's updates to your kitchen, it's your kitchen countertops, possibly your cabinets, or it could be just putting a nice fresh coat of paint on the cabinets, changing the knobs and putting a nice countertop on, a granite or quartz countertop, very nice backsplash. At times, it could also be updating the floors as well. But those are the main selling points, which most people automatically know. They've heard this before. And then the bathrooms, pretty much doing the same to the bathrooms. We're seeing a lot of people want more hardwood flooring now, or vinyl plank flooring as
Hmm.
opposed to carpeting. And so that's a really nice update that has a major impact on value. And the last thing I'm going to say, which some people might think is far-fetched, or maybe they won't, but um, cleaning your home,
Mm,
having it professionally cleaned and kept while you're doing the showings and things like that. A clean home and a well-maintained home has even almost the same impact as a home that's been renovated and updated.
okay.
So the upkeep of your home on a consistent basis makes a huge difference in how it's perceived. If you have a home full of clutter and not clean, the chances of a buyer coming in to actually want to purchase your home, they can't really see unless they're visionary. Some people are not
Hmm.
visionaries, and so sometimes they can't really see beyond the clutter and the dirt. And even though cleaning a home, could maybe cost you 500-600 bucks if it's just regular cleaning, and or you doing it yourself, but people don't see that cost. They look at, oh, I've got to
Hmm.
tear the kitchen cabinets out and I've got to tear the floors out because they're very dirty, blah, blah, blah. So, cleanliness is very important to the overall, aspect of selling a house.
Love it. Love it. Can you describe one of your more meaningful real estate experiences, and share why it was so meaningful to you?
I have a couple of very meaningful experiences. I aim to please. That's really um, my personality.
Hmm.
Um, and so when I hear people very happy about,
Hmm.
their experience with me being able to solve any of their problems, but there are a couple that stick out to me. One was I had a seller couple who were actually pastors,
Okay.
and they were referred to me by a family member. And they came and they were basically had the thought, they owned a home, and they had a thought of just allowing their home to be pretty much given away. They thought,
Mm.
we'll just, hey, we'll just sell it to our investor neighbor who wants the house for his daughter, and he's going to give us 15 or $20,000, and we could just walk away and we're satisfied with that. And in my conversation with them, I said, "Well, how much do you owe?" And they told me how much they owed. I said, "Well, do you mind if I come take a look at the home?" Came to take a look at the home, walked through, and I said, "Listen, the person that referred you, they referred you for a good reason. I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I have to say to you, you would be making a big mistake. You're going to give your equity away if you
Mm,
do this." I said, "So please let me show you the updates that I think you could do, and I want you to do those updates." And very well, they listened to me. We put between eight to $10,000 in the updates, and we were able to really sell the home for almost 80,000 more than what they were going to give the home to their neighbor for.
wow.
That couple walked away with almost $70,000 at closing. So that was a very meaningful. And I tend to, sometimes I get people that just don't think highly of their property because, the maintenance, they haven't done the best with the upkeep and the maintenance of the property. And they look at those things and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this isn't, it's no one's going to want this house because I don't want it anymore." That's sometimes what they think. And so I'm able to, come in and give them a different perspective. And I have a number of those situations. And then I have situations where I've helped buyers improve their credit dramatically
Okay.
within 30 days. And they're able to buy homes because they've listened to my advice. Hey, I need you to make this adjustment to your credit, pay this debt down,
Hmm.
become an authorized user possibly. It's just different scenarios that I would give them by analyzing their credit. And then within 30 days, they're financeable. Um,
Nice.
and a number of those individuals that I've done that to or with, for, I should say, we've also been able to get them large amounts of down payment assistance too.
Hmm.
So, it's been very helpful.
That's great. That's awesome. What do you consider to be the greatest opportunity in the real estate market today?
It's still a great time to buy. Then the
Mhm.
reason I say it's still a great time to buy and sell, rates are, of course, a slight factor for some people. Um, However, rates will eventually come down. The market activity is pretty level, kind of even in most markets. It's not necessarily a buyer's market in one market, not necessarily a seller's market in another market. It's kind of leveled out. And so the competition for buyers is not so crazy like it was a few years ago. And so a buyer definitely has an opportunity to go out and find a home that they'll love, and eventually, refinance it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, how would you complete this sentence? What I am known best for is.
Caring for people.
Okay.
I am definitely known for being compassionate, very calm, very peaceful disposition. Um, People understand me that way because, and they're like, "Why are you so calm?" Well, I've been doing this for so long, so, nothing scares me, Um, but most people that I interact with, they become lifelong friends or lifelong customers. They become clients. They refer their friends and family members to me because they know that I care for them.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's a testimony to how well you're taking care of people is that
Mhm.
they enjoy referring friends and family. So that's another fruit of the work that you're doing and having that long-term approach to your business for sure.
Definitely. Definitely a fruit. that people get to eat off of, and so do I, because
Yeah.
it's a great compliment to me that people feel that I'm compassionate and care a lot about them. And I do. I don't approach real estate transactions as my last.
Mhm.
And so I'm in it for the long haul. So no matter how long it takes, we're going to get you in a property that you're going to love. And then, of course, for sellers, the goal is to maximize your sales price and do it in the quickest amount of time, but within reason, because sellers sometimes they've got things going on in their life. Well, I can't move right away. Okay, we'll take it
Mhm.
slow. So I tend to meet a person where they're at.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being a part of the podcast today. Is there any question that I should have asked you but didn't?
Um, I think I believe you covered everything.
All right.
This was a great podcast. I appreciate the opportunity to be on, and look forward to interacting with you in the future. But yeah, I think you've covered everything.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Shaunta, thank you again. You've been an excellent guest and definitely looking forward to many more conversations here moving forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much,
All right.
Dennis. I
Thank you.
appreciate you.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Shaunta. All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.